Okay everybody, here we go with the review of my game from the 2026 Chess.com Daily Chess Championships. I was playing against an opponent called EXYReX, and let's just get into the game.
Let the games begin!
So firstly, 4, c3, getting the bishop out, getting ready to put early pressure on his c7 square. I love to do this. They often react wrong and they're not able to handle this correctly. It can lead to an early win. He did handle this correctly, which was surprising because at the beginning of this game he was rated 277. I just thought, honestly, this guy's not going to have a clue what to do and we'll just basically get an easy win. That's not what happened. Even though we got double pawns here, which I thought was good. And I'm getting ready to come over and take his white square bishop. And here, I had an idea of what might happen if he was able to come in with the queen. So I don't defend this pawn, and instead I get ready to go and take his light square bishop. And yeah, after taking the bishop, to let him go ahead and have the chance to pick up that pawn on a2, which he does, which obviously is a mistake because we're getting ready to pick up the dark square bishop, which is exactly what happens.
Nice.
And from here I just thought this is going to be an easy game. Trade the queens off and we're just going to be a piece up. Nothing weird's going to happen. It's just going to be one of those games where we can just get to the end game with a piece up and trade everything off and just win. And here, this is where things start to go wrong. So he unleashes the beast, rook fd8, and I didn't really think too much of this move at the time. I'll go ahead and start picking up pawns, but that is the beginning of the end, because I realise here he's actually trapped my rook.
Okay, alright. That's weird.
And the only way is to trade it off and undouble his pawns. And now they're not so easy to pick up anymore, you know. I thought from here I can pick these up anytime. It's going to be fine, it's going to be easy to get those pawns. But that is no longer the case. But okay, I just thought, yeah, you know, he played a good move. It's time to get ready to trade knights, which I do. Prevent any chance of any shenanigans with the knight, which is always annoying. And here, I wanted to keep this diagonal. I didn't want to just have to keep defending the bishop or defending the king, so I just thought, okay, bring it all back. I'm sure it's not the most technically accurate, but let's just do it anyway. Just to not have to think about it too much. You know, this was on like New Year's Day, or just following New Year's Day. I was just lazy. It's just complacency, the only thing I can say, unfortunately. Getting ready to push in the centre. Pushes in the centre. Brings his king over to defend, which is the best move. And yeah, it's still not easy, you know. I could take the pawn, and the king goes there, and this pawn's going to be impossible to remove, or it's going to at least take some effort. Okay, so he defends his pawn, and I'm thinking, okay, do I need to get my king in the game? But this was a waste of time, as it turns out, because if I move my pieces away, he can just check me forever. So I get an escape square. This is where things start to take a bit of nosedive in terms of my advantage. Still winning, but I guess the bishop needed to be back over here to cover everything. But I'm still thinking, okay, I'm in complete control here. He's kind of being annoying, he's hanging on a lot longer than I expected him to. But, you know, at some point, I'm just going to pick up these pawns and beat up a piece. And after a few checks, like, what does he have? But he finds the best move, rook e1. So I take one of his pawns, get back with the bishop. It says great move, I think that's quite obviously, I can't let him push his pawn past here, so of course. And then yeah, best move from him again, rook e1, back here. Getting ready to trade on the e4s. So I pick up some of his pawns. And yeah, what I didn't want to happen, his king coming to d5, that's exactly what did happen.
Balls!
And even though I can just defend my pawn forever with the bishop, he can defend this forever. So it's a bit annoying. I thought, keep it safe, forget any checks he can do. So, and here I thought, okay, bring the king out. And yeah, he's playing the best move, passing the pawns. And I had a plan to induce him to take this pawn, and when I take it back, these two pawns would be isolated. I didn't see any other good option for him at this point. You know, what I was kind of afraid of was him having this pawn chain. I was worried about, you know, some kind of crazy pawn storm that I couldn't handle. And then if I have to trade everything off, this pawn's in time to go and promote. It's kind of, looking at it, if you look at it in depth, it's kind of a far-fetched idea, but at the time, what can I say? That's just what I was afraid of. So, now there's no chance of a pawn chain anymore. I thought that's good. Pushes the pawn, rook f3 from me to block it, and I thought, okay, he can't do anything now, surely. I can pick up this, come back, pick up this. What does he have? There's no checks, no nothing. After this, I thought I had an opportunity here, because I see rook e3, and I calculate takes, king over here, pawn d5, king takes d5, bishop takes pawn, and then we control these squares, my king can just go and get this pawn, and at first that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, boy.
However, here, I'm thinking, okay, great, this is going to be a win. Yep, that's what I expected. King e4, that's what I thought was going to happen. Push the pawn, just as I planned. Thinking, okay, he's going to take, and I'm going to take. And if that happens, by the way, it's like, I was winning. Completely winning, +8. What actually happened? Pawn c3.
What?
Pawn c3.
Say what?
Pawn c3. I was so confused by this. It took me too long to understand why he played pawn c3. What made that a good move compared to any of the other moves? Like, why didn't he... Like, surely, now I can promote, and he can't do anything. If he pushes this pawn, I can bring my king over here. If he pushes this pawn, bishop can come over here. We're defending both of the dark squares where the pawns are going to go in the end. I'll definitely be faster to promote, and it's winning, surely. But there is a problem, and it took me a long time to figure out, because this guy's been playing like a beast this whole time. I thought, hang on, it can't be as simple as that. What does he have that I haven't checked out yet? And yeah, some of you probably already know that pawn h4 screws that plan completely, because let's say I push the pawn, it says that's fine. However, h4, and I'm not able to come here anymore. I'm not able to come to any of these squares. It's most realistically probably here. This is still a draw, but it doesn't look like a draw, because now, you know, I'm nowhere near. Can't make it in time. And yeah, the only way to stop the promotion is to bring the bishop over. But then this is happening. Great move. And I can't stop the promotion.
Oh God!
I didn't want to have any of that happen, so I just took the pawn. This is what I calculated. Okay, takes, and then we both promote at the same time. This is the other best move. Same as d6, they're both just a draw, dead draw, so it says they're both the best. But okay, I took the pawn, and yeah, away we go. And he plays king e2. What? And it took me a while to understand why king e2 is such a good move. Basically, after promotion, There's no checks. There's only two checks here and here. There's none of this. There's none of, because the king would have been here. You know, I don't have anything. I can't go this way. There's nothing. And he gets the queen trade. And that's all she wrote. And I just think it's an incredible game. How many great moves are played over here? This is the end game. And I'm already, at this point, even so, +2. Who could think it's going to be a draw against an opponent that was rated 277 at the time of the game being played? Who could conceive that it's going to be great move, great move, great move, great, and then he's winning? Or he's not winning, but he's got the draw. From this point, it says it's a draw. From me pushing that pawn, which looks like a pretty good move, and it leads to pretty solid winning position if it goes the way I calculated it. But I didn't see this, and I didn't see that he has pawn h4, which is my mistake. And actually, as a result of that, and that crazy king move, that's the best move. Crazy stuff. But okay, we have to trade queens and it's a draw. This guy really punished me. Really punished me this game. I don't think I played any really bad moves. We can play it through from here. And all of the time, the computer's saying like, yeah, you're doing great. This is fine. You're doing good moves. These are all good moves. But, okay, that's not. But from here, it's just... I don't even know what to say about it. Like, I thought this was a good move, honestly. I thought we were winning. I thought, yeah, we've got this. No problem. But no. It's draw. Very hard endgame from me. From this point even, I thought, okay, this is complicated stuff. Surely he's going to make a mistake. I guess I underestimated him so completely because of his rating. Like that's a mistake. That's what lost me this game. But even so, I don't think... I mean, the computer likes all my moves, or most of them. It likes most of my moves. I don't know, I think this was just crazy from him, like... You would think there'd be some mistakes or some opportunity, but he gave me nothing. I don't know, it's just... King e2, that move is just... That is like... I don't even know what that is, that's... It's just incredible. I find that move really... Am I the only one that thinks that move is crazy? King e2? It's a draw. Yeah, I offered a draw and he took it. I knew he wasn't going to give me any chance here. He can just... What is there to be done? I knew it was over, so I gave him a draw. And with that, Bombshell was knocked out of the tournament because he won all of his games, including the other game against me, which went similar fashion. I had him in the first half, but then he came out of nowhere with some strong moves. And yeah, I'll show up the accuracy here, but it's pretty good. 91.4 for me, 91.6 for him, which is incredible. 5 great moves, 4 great moves. No blunders. 200 rated player, no blunders. 1 mistake the whole game, and it was all the way back here. That's a mistake. That's the only mistake the whole game. Is it really the only mistake? Yeah, that's the only thing the computer doesn't like. The whole game. But there you have it. I'll stop this video before it gets too long. So yeah, I'll leave it there. GG, well played to my opponent, and I guess good luck for the next games. If he needs it, if he plays like that, I don't know, but yeah. What an incredible game for me to play. Fun one.